What is up, you guys? You're watching Sergio's Secret. Before I get started with today's video, if you can please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. And today's going to be a Q&A. I asked you guys on Instagram if you had some questions for me. I'm going to answer some of them that you guys had for me. And like I said, everything is always real. Everything is very honest and transparent. So let's go ahead and get started with all these questions. And I do these Q&As from time to time. I just kind of like decide kind of randomly. I try to do it maybe like once a month. If I don't do it on YouTube, I definitely do it on Instagram, just so you guys kind of have an idea, and you guys can always ask me whatever. And so I think it gives this kind of like a good kind of more of a personal relationship, which is something that I really like to have with my subscribers. So let's go ahead and start up with some of the questions. So the first question is, do you shop the Coach outlet? Do you think the bags are quality and worth the price? I do shop the Coach outlet, so I have purchased handbags that are from the Coach Reserve line. So their version of full price handbags at the Coach outlet is going to be Reserve. So if you go on the Coach website, which they actually have an outlet website, which I'll leave linked down below. I know you guys have asked me if the bags are authentic. I'll leave a direct link down below to the actual Coach outlet website. And then there's a section where they have Reserve, which I'll also leave linked down below. And so the Reserve are items that are full price that came from the boutiques. Normally the bags come in as 50% off, and they used to be kind of more 60 and 70 before that, but now since people are more aware about full price and off price handbags, most of the bags come as like 40 or 50% off. Most of the ready to wear and shoes usually come from like 60 to 70% off. I think that there is not really a huge difference. There is like little details, like first of all outlet handbags do not come with dust bags. Maybe the inside, the lining's a little bit different, maybe a little bit less hardware, maybe the material is a little bit more easier to produce. I find that at the Coach outlet they use a lot more stiffer, more harder leathers, and that's something like Saffiano-ish type leather, and that's a little bit more easier to produce. It's a little bit more, maybe if it's glove tan leather, or you know, a little bit leathers are a little bit more delicate. So I do notice that there is a consistency of the same kind of materials in the handbags. But as far as the actual quality, I think Coach actually has really great quality items, regardless if it's full price and off price. I haven't had any issues with off-price handbags from Coach, but there is little subtle details, but not a whole lot where I could be like, oh my god, it is a whole lot different in my opinion. And that's something that really takes everything into consideration. There is, but not really. Like even like for example the Prada outlet, Prada, you know, a lot of their handbags have like the Prada lining on the inside. A lot of the Prada bags from the outlet don't have the Prada lining. It's just a regular fabric lining. So it's kind of like here and there, but it's like little subtle details, not something you could tell a whole lot difference, because they also want to be known for great quality leathers. Coach established in 1941, so I don't see a whole lot of difference. A little bit, but not a whole lot. Next question is, how do you deal with friendship fallout? So friendship fallouts have been something that actually happened to me, and I can actually relate to it. So I recently had a fallout with a friend, and me and this friend, we were really close. This was the only friend, one of the only friends that I met when I moved to Houston, like that I already knew prior. Ever since kind of like the whole case happened, if you guys are familiar with it, it's just been kind of like, it's been such a gray area, and so there was like sides to be picked and everything else, and like just so much unnecessary drama. And for me, I always exclude myself in narratives like that. I don't like to be involved in drama. I don't care to be involved in drama. I kind of just do me and kind of hang low key, and then I just kind of hang and talk to the friends that I do talk to. And so I had a bad falling out with a friend, and it really wasn't my fault. It was just kind of like one of those things where you just kind of have to keep it moving, and it's very kind of like upsetting. It's very sad. It's very kind of like you feel some type of way, but I always look at myself and I'm always like, you know what, I'm kind of over it. You have to continue moving on, and you know, at the end of the day, life goes on, things continue, you meet new people. Some people are here for a season, some people are here for a lifetime, some people are here for maybe a book, you know what I mean? I see life as kind of like chapters, that's kind of like months, I see a book as a year, and then, you know, obviously you're gonna have a bookcase full of your years that you're here. So for me, I kind of saw that friend, you know, now that everything kind of ended, more as somebody that was here for a few chapters, and you know, I learned a couple lessons, I learned a lot of things, and you know, I'm grateful for that. And I'm also not like, you know, maybe on this person's end, but for me, you know, once somebody kind of leads me or kind of fucks me over in a sense, I'm kind of done in that relationship, or kind of when I see people's true colors, I'm done. I'm no soy pendejo. I'm not nobody's second option. I'm not. So we'll probably never be friends again, but I always wish people the best. That's the difference between me and other people, is, or especially like a lot of gay people in the community. If I have a falling out with somebody, if people ask me what happened, I don't really disclose what happened. I just said, you know what, we had a falling out, you know, things didn't work out the way I wanted them to, but you know, I still wish him the best. I still wish him the best. You know, if I see him out, I may say hi, I may not, depending how I feel the energy. Pero no soy grosero, no soy mamón. Like, I just wish people the best in general. I really don't have hate in my heart. I don't have time for negative energy, for negative space. I just kind of do my own thing, and I just kind of have to keep it moving. And I had the last interaction with this person because we had some personal things to take care of, and you know, it was a little bittersweet, but at the end of the day, you just kind of have to keep it moving. So, you know, having fallouts are never fun, but I'd rather have a fallout than to be in a relationship, in this sense, a friendship, where I'm not happy or where I'm not comfortable. So, you know, it's a little bittersweet, but I have to keep my head up and I have to keep it moving. So it is what it is, and that's how I kind of deal with fallouts, because I've recently just experienced one of. Next question is, when is the best time to shop designer sales, and what stores have the best sales? So the best time to shop designer sales are going to be in between seasons. So a lot of designer stores either start their sales right before Christmas or right after. Every brand is different, and I noticed this time around through department stores, a lot of brands didn't go on sale in the beginning. It was very much times, like, so Burberry had a different schedule, Givenchy had, like, all these brands have different schedules. So when it's through department stores, you just kind of have to follow the schedules. Like Prada has only one sale a year, and that's after the holiday season. Montclair follows a completely different sale season. Their sale season starts right before, like right after all the other sales happens. It happens like, dang, Montclair's just starting their sale. They're very late to the sale. Chanel is very early to the sales. I think their sale starts a week prior to Christmas. So sales kind of depend on the brand, but normally it's in between right before Christmas to right after Christmas, and it kind of like in June and July, that's when the second season happens. There usually are 2 markdowns for designer. Some brands may just have one, like Prada. Especially their best sense to shop designer sell is going to be through department stores or through like websites like Farfetch and Essence and websites like that, because most of the time the boutiques themselves and the actual stores in your city, they normally reserve those items for the clients in those boutiques, and so they are gonna get a first choice. So if you do want to have a better choice or a better selection, I think online or in the department stores is a little bit better, if you ask me. But I will say this last season, the sale season dragged for pretty long compared to previous years where it's a little bit shorter. I want to say like a lot of the sales ended like even like a little after Valentine's Day, I would say as well. So I would say that is kind of like when kind of sales happen. And what stores have the best designer sales? I would say TJ Maxx, Yellow Tag, Nordstrom Rack, Clear the Tag, Nordstrom's sales are pretty good. I would say Neiman Marcus's sales are pretty good towards the end, especially ready to wear shoes when they get 80, like when I bought 2 pairs of Elias shoes for 80% off. I would say every department store actually has pretty good sales, especially when like people return stuff in the beginning of the sale, and then once they return it, it already has like an additional markdown on it. I would say department stores are probably the best places to get sales, because normally a lot of designer sales, they get transferred out to the actual outlets, and it's not as a big steep of a savings. The Burberry outlet and stores like that don't have those type of steep sales like as you would like at Nordstrom or Nordstrom Rack or Neiman or Last Call by Neiman Marcus or Saks off Fifth. So I would say the department stores and like Net-a-Porter, Farfetch, those type of websites have good deals as well. Next question is the San Marcos outlets worth the hype? The San Marcos outlets is definitely worth the hype if you go on the right day and if you go on the right season. I will say for me, the San Marcos outlets is always a hit or miss. I never know what I'm gonna buy. I don't know how much I'm gonna spend. I really don't, because I'm also at the point in my collection where I'm really satisfied with everything that I have. I have enough white bags, black bags, everything I could possibly want. I'm really content. Obviously, I'm still shopping for more things, but I will say it's very hit or miss. I would say my favorite stores to shop at the San Marcos outlets are going to be the Gucci outlet, the Saint Laurent outlet, the Las Call by Neiman Marcus. Those are kind of my favorite stores to shop at. I would say the Prada outlet can be pretty good at times. The Valentino outlet for a ready-to-wear is pretty good. I would say it's worth it if you are looking for designer items. Other than that, other than that, I don't think it's worth it. I think you're better off at your local outlet. Like if you're shopping for a Coach, Michael Kors, you know, Tory Burch, the CCO, Victoria's Secret, like those type of stores are basically not in every outlet, but they're pretty common outlets. And so if you're gonna shop those stores anyway, I don't think it's worth it. But if you do wanna go for those more designer stores like Saint Laurent, Burberry, you know, Gucci, Ferragamo, then I would say it's worth it. And you have to keep in mind at 9 times out of 10, you're not going to get current items. You're not. So keep that in mind when you shop there. You are getting past items. For me, my favorite thing to buy in outlets are more ready to wear. Just because for me, I don't think ready to wear, especially kind of classic brands like Saint Laurent and kind of like Gucci, you know, certain Gucci items or like Lafayette or stores like that. A lot of those stores, their clothing doesn't really date as much as their shoes or accessory counterparts. So for me, I definitely prefer to buy ready-to-wear designer clothing and outlets than, let's say, handbags or other categories. I would say ready-to-wear is probably the main objective is when I shop items at the outlets. And if you see my vlogs and stuff, you notice that I tend to buy more clothing than anything. I may buy a handbag or an accessory here and there. Like the last one with San Marcos, I bought a Miu Miu pouch, like a little key clay and like Saint Laurent pouches. But normally it's mostly ready to wear, and especially ready to wear, you can find really great deals. I got a Gucci beautiful blue striped top for $75. The next question is, do you believe in investment pieces? I hear it's becoming less of a thing. I don't really consider handbags or clothing investment financially. I think it's really great knowing that if you're tired of a handbag, let's say a Chanel or Hermes handbag, it is more of their classic range, so you can get most of your money back, or if not all of it. I think that's really great knowing for a rainy day. But I don't really look as my items as investments financially. I see them more as wardrobe investments. I see, you know, spending, you know, maybe $60 on a turtleneck. I see it as a wardrobe investment because I can have one or two and I can wear them through the entire season. They're not going to bubble up, they're going to hold up, they're double lined. And so I see that more as a wardrobe investment. I see, you know, my handbags more as wardrobe investments. More than anything. I would never want to ever consider them as actual investments. And I know that's very much a loose term where, you know, people consider investments. The only handbags I would really consider investments is going to be like Hermes, Birkin, and Kelly in smaller sizes. And that's about it. Maybe like designer, like maybe more like Rolexes and like finer jewelry like Van Cleef. But most of the time, not everything is a financial investment. Like I see it more as a wardrobe investment. So I don't really like the term investments because I find that a lot of YouTubers or a lot of people in the luxury community misuse that term. And I think people that are naive, that don't know better, I feel like they don't know better. Because I know people that try to buy, you know, let's say a Bottega Veneta cassette for $3,500, use trash and trying to sell it for $3,200. It doesn't work like that. So I don't know. I think it's a very loose term, but at the end of the day, I don't see them as financial. I don't see them as financial investments. I see them more as wardrobe investments. Next question is best luxury bag with a $1,000 budget. I will be making a video, my favorite handbags under $2,000 that are crossbodies. I would say luxury handbags. We're kind of phasing out within that $1,000 phase, unless you really want like a super small handbag, which I think is really impractical. I think a lot of the contemporary handbag brands are starting to push towards that $1,000 range. Tory Burch recently had a price increase, and a lot of those handbags are going towards more that $1,000 range. That Tory Burch Eleanor is $740. A Lee Razzle is $1,000. Strathberry bags are around that, you know, $600, $700, $800 range. Alexander Wang, which I would consider kind of pre-designer. I wouldn't consider it full-blown designer, but it's kind of like in that kind of like 6, 7, 8. MCM kind of like in that 6, 7, 8, 9 range. So I will be making a video of my favorite crossbodies under $2,000. There are like a little bit of few options, but I would say if you're looking for a bag under $1,000 that's still designer, I would consider maybe the Chloe Woody Toe or the Chloe Mini Marcy. I've had the Mini Marcy in my collection in the past and I quite enjoy it. Those are two options that I would recommend for you. But I will still see, as far as designer, they're really phasing out of that $1,000 category. I think like $1,300, $1,400 is kind of like the new $1,000, especially with a lot of this inflation that brands like to do with their brands. I think there's not a lot of bags under $1,000, but I'll make that video for you guys soon. But that's my honest response to this. And like I said, I'm really honest when it comes to my answers. And if you ever disagree, if you ever feel some type of way with the answers that I give, or you agree or disagree, I would love to hear your comments down below, because I think for me and you, and I think for the other people that are watching, I think it kind of gives them a different point of view when it comes to questions and answers. So I really like the conversation to be started down below as well. Hello, what do you think of the Marc Jacobs red tote bag in leather, which is this handbag right here? I love it. I see this handbag in many ads. I'm a big fan of the tote bags that have them in 3 variations: leather, fabric, and kind of like a fuzzy fabric. I love the tote bags. I think that they're really great. I think they go from $550 under. I think start from anywhere from $175 to $550. I love the tote bags. I think that they're a great handbag for every day. I think it's a great, if you want a Telfar shopping bag look and maybe make it look a little bit more expensive, I think that the tote bag from Marc Jacobs is a great alternative. And before y'all come for me, I'm gonna explain to you why. No matter how much you try to replicate vegan leather, it will never look like real leather. I'm being honest. So like, even for me, when I see Stella McCartney bags and they say, oh, it's like, it's vegan leather, I think it's nice. I really like the quality of Stella McCartney, but for me, I never see it as real leather. I always see it as vegan. So when I had the Telfar shopping bag in vegan leather, I wish it would come out with leather versions, because I would actually buy one. It's a great alternative because leather holds up a lot better than vegan. Through my experiences and through my friends' experience with vegan leather bags, and I'm not putting Telfar down, I'm just kind of comparing them. The vegan leather gets a little bit more wear, especially in the lighter colors. And I think real leather and lighter colors tends to hold up a little bit better, if you ask me. But I do like both bags, both tote bags. But I would say I do really like the Marc Jacobs, the tote bags, and I think the leather one is a really great option. And especially the beautiful red. I think the red is not like un triste red, it's not a sad red. It's actually like a very nice, vibrant red. What are the best handbags for everyday wear? I also travel, and also travel friendly. So my favorite handbags for everyday that I currently have in my collection is going to be my Saint Laurent K. Anything with my Saint Laurent kind of caviar leather, which I'll actually show you guys. For material, I think it's a great everyday bag. I've had my K going on, I want to say 4 years, and it is still going strong. I'll show it to you right here. It's still going strong. It probably needs a little good clean, but it's going strong in my collection. I love it so much. I would consider this a really great purchase. Anything with this grainy leather. I would say even the Maltese leather is pretty great. This is my Saint Laurent camera bag. I think it's really great as well for every day. I think they both hold up pretty well. I would say Hammett is a great contemporary. I think they have really beautiful high quality leather. I think Polan has really high quality leather, and they all kind of have this kind of cowhide, I believe it's cowhide material, and it holds up pretty well, scratch resistant. If you want a good everyday bag, I'll always recommend for people to choose more of a scratch resistant leather. I think the Marc Jacobs tote bags along with the Marc Jacobs snapshots are also a really great alternative. Dagny Dover is also really great, and Longchamp is really great leathers as well. And then I would also choose my J-Link by Marc Jacobs, also a really great choice. And I think Coach grain leather is pretty well. And as far as brands that I don't have in my collection, I would say Dooney and Burke and Brahmin for contemporary are also pretty well. And designer, Prada nylon is something you can never go wrong with. Canvas and Gucci leather holds up pretty well as long as it's not a smooth leather. Those are kind of my favorite brands slash styles of handbags that I feel like are best for kind of everyday that you can get so much wear out of. But for materials, I would just say nylon and more of a scratch resistant leather that's good quality. I think those two are going to be your best choices when you want to look for high quality items. And also I would say neoprene is a good material as well. Small and cute bags for outfittings, but also fits an umbrella because the weather is unpredictable. Small and cute handbags, I would say a small umbrella. So I think we're going to pick up a small bag. I think the low weight puzzle bag's really great for outings. I think it makes such a statement. You can definitely fit an umbrella there. The Chloe crossbody Marcy, the larger size, the one that's $14.90. I think that one's a really great choice. It's kind of smaller, but it still fits a decent amount. Or even the Chloe Marcy small satchel, I think it's really pretty. Gucci Soho Disco can't fit a small umbrella. You may have to pack lightly on the other things that you carry. Same for the Saint Laurent camera bag, the little bit the larger one. I think that's a really great option. Some great options for handbags that are a little bit larger that can fit your umbrella. Also the Givenchy Antigone Mini is another one that I would throw in there. I ever feel like buying so much designer is a bad financial decision? If you can maintain that, no, but I would never go above and beyond my needs to keep up with the latest designer items. These designer items are pumped out like nobody's business. Fads come and go, and I think, you know, just for buying a designer bag, you're jeopardizing your credit score, you're jeopardizing not paying rent or not having a higher quality of life for a handbag that's made out of leather, a dead animal. I don't think it's worth it. I think if you are in a position where you can afford it and it's between your means, I would say it's not a bad financial decision. I consider a bad financial decision is when you're putting all your money into that, you're not saving, you're not, you know, putting it towards your health, when you're compromising other aspects of your life. That's when I consider it a bad financial decision, if you ask me. But I don't think there's nothing wrong with it as long as you can maintain it and as long as you're not living beyond your means, is what I'm trying to say. If you're liking Houston so far, what is your favorite thing about it? How am I liking Houston so far? I like Houston. It's definitely a fast-paced city more than Dallas. I feel like Dallas is a little bit more relaxed. I feel like, I didn't notice this, but I feel like Dallas is more like I'm not considering like the suburbs of Dallas, like Plano, Grand Prairie, Arlington, even like Fort Worth, South Lake. I'm not comparing the outers because I don't consider that Dallas. When people tell me they're from Dallas, I want for them to tell me that they're actually from Dallas. Like when I ask, oh, are you from Dallas? And then they're actually from Mansfield. I don't consider that Dallas. But actual Dallas, especially where I was living, like in Uptown in Oak Lawn, I feel like for me it was like so bougie, so elevated. Like I didn't really, and everything was super tight and like everybody kind of knows each other, versus here in Houston it's just like very fast-paced and goes. It's not as bougie, it's not as like, not want to use the word glamorous, but it's not as elevated as I'm used to. So I notice here I kind of stick out a little bit more, even though Houston's a very flashy city. I'm not a big flashy person, because you can tell the difference between somebody who's like flashy and then somebody who's like flashy but they just kind of wear something just to kind of wear it, versus somebody who likes fashion but acquires a nicer taste. So for me, I'm kind of leaning towards this, versus Houston's more like, oh, I'm gonna wear this and that. Like, I don't know, not even about clothing wise, but just like the mindset and like just a different type of people. It's a lot different than what I'm accustomed to. You know, girl, but don't get me wrong, girl, I get down in many very aspects. I can be the super kind of like, you know, not stuck up, but you know, bougie, but then I can also be, girl, I have you know, I have different, I can be hood as just a lot of my cousins. So you know what I mean? I can get along with like a lot of different people, and don't let somebody's garments or maybe how they talk or how they kind of like nitpick and stuff like that. Not nitpick, but you know, like move hands and like expressions get you twisted, because you never know what people are made out of. But I like Houston, but it's just such a different community is what I'm trying to say. It's very different. It's very like city girl vibes, versus in Houston, in Dallas, it was very city girl, but it was in a different way. So I like Houston. It's definitely given me a different aspect. I'm kind of learning a lot of different things in this aspect of my life, and so I would say I like it so far. There's definitely a lot more things that has happened as far as just like things in general than I experienced in Dallas. So I like it in a sense where I'm learning all these different types of lessons in a way that I would not learn if I lived in Dallas, because in Dallas I have family members, I have, you know, my parents, so I feel like I have more like shoulders to lean on, versus here, you know, I do have some family members that live here. I do have like some friends that if I need anything, but it's not like home. So it's definitely a different accustomed to it. Things that I like about Houston, I like the shopping in Houston. I like the people in Houston too. Like I said, Dallas is very much like, it's very different types of people, but I feel like in Houston you definitely get different walks of life, definitely a whole lot of different walks of life. And so for me, I like that I get to like meet different people. That's if like I'm at the grocery store, that's if I'm like out and about, that's if I'm at the bar with one of my friends casually. Kind of like observe a lot of different things. I'm a Virgo, so I kind of observe things. I kind of like, for me, that's why when people meet me, I'm very like shy. I'm just very observant of people, not maybe like a little calculated about how I go about. I build kind of like my character around their personality to accommodate them. And so for me, I feel I like Houston. I would say I like the people, I like the food, I like the friends that I made. I kind of like it. It's growing a lot on me. I've learned a lot, good and bad, but it's good. And my favorite thing is gonna be the people. Will you be giving an apartment tour? Yes, I will. My apartment's still not finished yet. I kind of want to make sure it's perfect. I've actually added more things to my bedroom than for my my bedroom and my bathroom tour and my closet tour. I'll leave that video link down below, but not finished yet, but I will soon, hopefully right before the summer, maybe like in May or June. I'll be more than happy to share that. Are you going live this Friday? It's gonna go up on Friday, so yes, I will be going live this Friday. Opinions on Romova. Romova is a really great brand for luggage. I have 3 luggages. I have the larger one, the medium one, and then the carry-on. I wish I would have just bought 2 larger ones versus buying that medium one, because I don't really use the medium one as much. And when I travel with the medium one, like when I went to Arizona or when I go to out of town, I feel like the medium one is just like, it's not cute when you take like an airport picture, or like when you're going through the airport. You can have like a big one, a mini one, and then a tiny one. I wish I just would have bought the 2 larger ones and just had my carry-on. They've all been great. I have had not any issues with them. I love Romova luggage so much. They're all in the black kind of plastic material. Thing that I would say is like, it does kind of like, some of like the paint has come off, and that's just because of the way you travel. But I mean, I don't really care. It's my luggage. I just want it to be durable and for it to last. And so that's why whenever I decided to invest in Romova, and like I said, not invest in like in case I want to ever sell it, invest it in where like I can depend on this luggage that a wheel will not bust down, it will hold up well, it's good quality, and I have not had any issues. I've let so many of my friends borrow. My friend went to Tennessee one time and I let him borrow all 3 sets. I've let my mom borrow Romova luggages, my cousins, my tias, my tio's girl. At one point the Romova luggages were traveling more than I was, and they've holding up pretty well. And so I think it's really, really great. And so I would highly recommend Romova. And I would start off with the carry-on, but don't get mad or upset if you buy like the aluminum or like any versions of them and then get all beat up or tied. It's luggage, it's supposed to happen. So for me, it doesn't bother me. I feel like for me, it kind of gives it character. I'll probably go for the black ones or like the stainless steel. I wouldn't buy like white or like a lighter color. Maybe that will show a little bit more wear. I'm happy with the black ones, and I have no issues with them, and I get a lot of compliments on them. So Romova luggage, I love, 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 love. I'm gonna answer 2 more questions, guys, but like I said, I always do these Q&As all the time, so if you are interested, just follow me on Instagram, and I've been a little bit more active on there, and you'll see a little bit more Q&As on there. If we're new to the game, what would be your first designer item? My first designer item would honestly be something to hold my cards and my cash, so I would get a small leather good, or a pair of glasses, and that's what I started off, and I'm gonna explain to you why. So for me, let's start with glasses. Glasses is something, it gets so sunny here in Texas, and so for me, I want a pair of glasses that are gonna protect my eyes. Technically, glasses are a medical device because they protect your eyes, they have UV protection. So I would want something that would protect my eyes and something that will keep me from aging. Not wearing sunglasses is actually really bad for you, and so I would see it more as a medical device. So I would want to have a pair of glasses, and that's why I have like a decent sunglass collection. And then a small leather good is because you have to pay for everything. You go through the drive-thru, you have to pay for something. You go through the dry cleaners, you have to pay for something. You go to the car wash, you go shopping, you have to go buy something at your school. You need a form of currency, like a wallet or something, and that's something that you will use every day. So that's why I would recommend either like a card case or like a wallet or like a sunglass for me, because those are gonna be items that I use. You can use a shoe every day, you can use a ready to wear every day, but not really, because those gonna get a lot more wear. And then for ready to wear, it's just gonna like been there and done that. Like I love designer ready to wear, and I have a pretty decent collection, but there's only so much you could wear them versus being like, oh my god, he's wearing the same Saint Laurent shirt, oh my god, the same jacket. And that's why I have multiples of a lot of things, so I can kind of rotate them. But in the beginning, I would honestly say a small leather good to hold your needs, like your wallet, you know, your cards, cash, change, whatever you like to carry. And then I would recommend a sunglass. I think either or is a really great first purchase, because if you're gonna get a lot of wear out of, maybe if you live somewhere where it's not as sunny, maybe you'll prioritize the SOG, but those are some of the first 2 things that I started with, and that's what I still recommend, even more than jewelry. I think those 2 items are perfect. How to pack a suitcase, vlog, care for luxury items and suitcase, carry on and checked out. Oh, I think this is more of a video idea. So this is a video idea that I would love to do. I always get asked how I pack my items. For me, I'm gonna be honest, I don't like to pack, I don't like to be very like minimalistic packing videos. That's just not me, girly. I do not want to wear the same underwear. I do not want to, I'm being funny if you can't tell. I don't want to wear the same crusty shoes, being funny as well. I don't want to wear the same blazer like 5 times out of the whole week. I actually want to have options. A girl wants to have options when wearing clothes. So for me, I pack logically. I know like I want to maybe wear a blazer that I can wear maybe I wear it in the morning, and then like a couple days later I can wear it in the evening. I want to have items that I can wear multiple times, but not to wear it for the entire trip, like the only jacket and stuff like that. I want to have things that kind of mix and match, but that I can make different looks out of, versus just wearing the same boring outfit. So for me, I would love to do that, because I always get asked opinions about how do I package toiletries, because I carry a lot of toiletries with me. How do I package shoes and everything? So I would love to do that. Girl, I didn't see videos, girl, where they put like their underwear and their crusty shoes. Girl, no ma'am, absolutely not. Maybe socks, but no ma'am, girl. I ain't putting anything in this shoe, girl. Absolutely not. But I would love to hear thoughts and opinions about me making a packing video. Those are some of the first questions that I got asked for on Instagram, so those are the ones that I prioritized asking. But if you guys want to ask me any more questions, feel free to follow me on Instagram, because I do these from time to time. And I want to say thank you so much for watching this video. I love each and every single one of you guys, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye guys, and take care.